But I want to start in Michigan, where the big story this week has been that even though the primary season is winding down, it's looking like Democrats are actually just beginning their infighting. The centrists, of course, leading the way, as if you expected anything different. This week, the corporate backed group Third Way announcing that they were ready to spend $15 million between now and 2028 to fight, quote, democratic socialism, the mortal enemy of Democrats. In states like Michigan, where Dr. Abdul Sayed just won a brutal primary, one of the most expensive in history, and Third Way is willing to spend that cash even if a Republican ends up winning that Senate seat. So there's a big headline in the New York Times here. It says moderate Democrats prepare for war against an ascendant left. And it talks about how Democratic leaders in Washington are still fighting against progressives even after the progressives won their primaries. Which raises a question I want to direct first to you, Joe. Donald Trump has a record low approval rating. Republicans are falling apart before our eyes. Democrats are nominating popular candidates. Why are Democratic leaders suddenly declaring war on their own voters?
I think it's a complete misread of anything that you would know if you actually had paid attention to any of the races that we've seen going back to a guy named Barack Hussein Obama, in 2008, in which the party establishment thought, oh no, the country's not ready for a man called Barack Hussein Obama who's black. No, the entire establishment was with Hillary Clinton. And what they don't get, what the middle, like Third Way, of that, if it's true what they're saying, what they don't get is, why did Obama win? Why? He was for change. And a lot of people who've been sitting on the sidelines because they didn't want the same old crap, and that means Hillary, by the way, back in 2008, they were for Obama. Now, the people with Hillary who are pragmatic, centrist, moderate, whatever you want to call them, they just wanted to win. They're pragmatic. They want to. I'm talking about the voters, not the folks at the top. So what happens? They turn out like crazy. They want change too. George W. Bush, hell, they wanted change. But the people who sit on the sideline, who are protest voters, the ones who think we need to really get in there and do something, those people were excited about Barack Obama and the change he brought. So anyway, that's where that went. Now you go to 2016. Hillary Clinton is the establishment candidate. A socialist, Bernie Sanders, puts her on the ropes. She wins the nomination handily over time, but she wins it. Who sits on their hands? The protest voters, the ones who wanted real radical change, who just got told, no, we're giving you the party establishment. Now, the party establishment, folks, they all voted. So what I'm saying is, in Michigan right now, there were lots of people who were attracted to al-Sayed because he meant real change from the status quo, from the party establishment of both parties. And so they're excited. They're on fire. And so the Haley Stevens voters, the pragmatic ones who are arguing about electability because they wanted to win, my guess is, if you follow the two scenarios that I just booked for you, guess what's going to happen? Those voters, if what we saw in 2008 from people who want to change from George W. Bush, if we think that those Democrats who voted for Haley Stevens are going to pick Rogers over al-Sayed, the change candidate in this race, that's going to take on Trump and not rubber stamp him like Rogers is going to do, they're coming out. And so why wouldn't you just go out and you're going to spend $15 million, use it turning out your vote, those moderate Democrats, on why the change we need is to stop Rogers. And by the way, most of the things that al-Sayed is talking about in terms of the affordability, prices, et cetera. I mean, so it makes no sense. I'm sorry to go on the rant, but my whole theory about all of this is that if you look, It's the people who want something really different who don't vote. And that's it. By the way, that was the same thing. Why do those people come out when Trump's on the ballot? Because for them, I'm talking about on the right, those people on the right who really dislike the party establishment, believe that that they want radical change in their party. He came down the escalator. And when he won, guess what everybody else did in his party? I mean, the pragmatic Republicans all stayed with him that first time in 2016. By the way, a lot of them went there in 2024 too. I don't think they'll be there this time, but we'll see. But my point is, it's the change that's driving. This is a change election. It's a turnout election, and these people, the people they're trying to fight, have won their primary because they excited a hell of a lot more or enough more people than the establishment candidate did. And it's actually easier to turn out the pragmatic, moderate electability crowd than it would be to turn out no, you gave me an establishment candidate when I wanted change, when I really wanted something different crowd. And so, no, I think this is literally the fight that they want to have is going to happen in 2028 anyway. And it's not going to happen in any of these races. It's going to happen in a primary nomination fight for president in the Democratic Party, where I'm sure there will be somebody out of the Bernie Sanders or socialist or left of the party. And there will certainly be a Matt Bennett, third way kind of independent, Democrat or establishment, and many of them maybe. By the way, that's how Trump won too. Established 15 candidates, all in the establishment, and one guy saying for radical change, and he wins. So no, I think this is about change. I think that I just am flabbergasted that somebody would waste $15 million now when the fight is Trump and Rogers, not, and whatever they think, I don't know. It's just crazy. So a Senate seat is 1 out of 100. If you're really worried about something he's going to, El Sayed is going to do, trust me, there's 95 or so pretty establishment people on both parties who will make sure that doesn't happen. It's crazy.